Hi, once again, this is Barry Selby, and this is number 41 in the series. This is Messages from the Masculine, number 41. And thanks to a little inspiration from a friend of mine, I have a topic for today to talk about that I hadn't got clarity on until just now. So, let me start at the beginning. Hi, my name is Barry Selby. As I mentioned, I am a #1 best-selling author, speaker, coach, and passionate champion for the feminine, helping strong, successful women attract the love of their lives, as well as being a champion and a speaker for women being in their feminine leadership and strength. Today's topic, as a series, I've been talking about women's leadership, feminine leadership, relationship stuff, things like that as well. This is number 41, and it's Message from the Masculine, number 41. He won't respect you, ... And there's a reason for the ... which I'll get to in a moment. I did a pair of broadcasts, number 39 and 40. And by the way, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, I'm also putting this on YouTube, so I won't necessarily respond to the comments live in here unless they're really pertinent questions, which I will then repeat. But if not, I'll comment or respond to you later in the comments on this broadcast. So Facebook Live and YouTube will both be where this will live, in case you're watching it in one of the other places. So I did a Facebook Live day before yesterday, so 39 and 40. Which was don't be a dick and how not to be a dick. And it got a lot of views for some reason. I'm not sure why they did. Maybe the titles were that inspiring, I'm not sure. But today's one is kind of the other side of it, which in the sense of speaking to men about not being dickish in behavior, but about how they can be a lot more than that, how we can be more gentlemanly-like as a one description of the opposite of that. But the thing that came up, a friend of mine, was kind enough, Annette actually commented on a post she had commented on my broadcast from 2 days ago about how it comes a lot down to respect, because a lot of women, and this may not be the women watching this, but a lot of women out there tend to give themselves up too easily in a relationship. They put up with crap, they put up with guys being dicks. I don't mean their appendages, I'm talking about their personality style. Let me qualify that. And also the fact that they are in some ways too willing to rush in the hopes that it'll work out versus taking care of themselves. So the reason why I put the title as He Won't Respect You is because for many ladies out there, to be really blunt, you don't respect yourselves. In fact, your need, desire, and yearning to have some guy be your man means you sometimes sacrifice your self-respect to get it. Now, this may stir up some upset in some amongst the women, and that's fine, I understand that, because this is not for all women. Quite a lot of women out there, thankfully, a lot of women I know, do respect yourselves and don't settle for less than you deserve. Thank God. But for the ones who haven't got there yet, I've got my work cut out for me to help you, and you've got your work cut out for yourselves too to step into that. Because the reality is that you will get back what you put out. You will receive back what you express. So if you don't respect yourself, you ain't going to get it from him. And that is really, to be honest, a black and white picture, really clear, really simple. So I really want to make this clear to you in this brief talk. These Facebook Lives run about 10 minutes or so normally, because I usually find that's the amount of content I have and then it disappears. Let me rewind to some of my own history. I realize I've got to start putting my own stories into these broadcasts to really bring the point home from personal experience. In my early dating life, and it wasn't very successful in my early dating life, which is why I've been so immersed in studying about this, learning about how to do it right, and now teaching it, because I figured if I can mess it up and can fix that, let me help you do it more quickly, as in resolve your issues. I would say several of my relationships, they jumped in with me too early. And if they had held out, maybe they wouldn't been with me, but truth be told, if they had taken longer to get in a relationship with me, I would have respected them more. Now, I'm only up to this. This is not something I'm proud of by any means, by any stretch of imagination. I'm personally, what's I'm looking for? Coming clean, is that I've had some pretty bad relationships in the past. In cases where I was not respecting my partner enough to take care of myself. I wasn't respecting my partner enough to take care of them. I wasn't respecting my partner enough to shape up, as it were. I was, embarrassingly to say this, I was a bit of a slob in some ways. Not only physically, but in terms of internal support structures. I wasn't taking care of myself, wasn't respecting myself. So of course, I'd attract someone who didn't respect me, and I didn't respect them. Worked both ways. So he wouldn't respect you, she wouldn't respect me in this case. So from personal experience, it sucks. Plain and simple. And from personal experience, I know how painful it can be to choose lower than we deserve, both for her sake and for my sake. So I want to speak to you and say to you that for all of you out there, men and women, because I know it said the title says he won't respect you, but that was in response to the thing about the dickish behavior in the previous two broadcasts. What I'm really wanting to make clear to you is that you will be respected to the degree that you respect yourself. And the truth is, if they don't respect you, you won't want to be with them, because your respect for yourself will be high enough. They won't settle for less than you deserve. And I've said this before on the broadcast quite often, and especially in my coaching with my clients, is that truthfully, truth be told, your self-respect is probably the biggest part of you attracting the right relationship. Let the one sink in for a second. Your self-respect is one of the biggest keys to you attracting the most amazing relationship you could ever have. Does that make sense? Does that sink in? I hope it does. Because this is the biggest challenge that we face so much about being programmed to look for a certain thing. And I've heard this, I was listening to someone's conversation yesterday about how they would go out with this guy because he looked good. Like that he was chiseled chest and he was really buff and everything else. So his presentation looked really good. But does that mean he respects her and respects himself? A lot of people, both genders, externalize a lot of desire to make themselves look perfect to hide the imperfect internals. Now this is a much deeper topic than I'm going to cover in this time, but I want to plant these seeds with you and have you think about this for a moment. There are many people out there I know who are so attached to the external look and appearance that they spend thousands upon thousands of dollars in products and surgery, yes, and commitments to look a certain way, and they spend nothing on the interior. So they will never be filled up because they're basically they're doing the I said this before about gift wrap versus content. There are so many people who are so attached to the appearance on the outside that they neglect and ignore their own self-talk, self-support, and self-love. And that's not respect. So again, as I said before, he won't respect you if you don't respect yourself. And don't mean by respecting yourself that you get a new line of makeup if you're a woman, or you go to the gym workout 10 more times if you're a guy. That can help because it can commit commitment to your self-support, but it goes deeper than that. Because I know people who go and work out fanatically, men and women, who don't take care of themselves at home. They don't take care of themselves spiritually. They don't take care of themselves emotionally. They don't get to take care of themselves mentally even. They don't read books. They don't meditate. They don't heal their past issues. But the packaging looks great. The problem with that, because we're on a time-based environment, this world we live in is time-based, which is a whole other conversation completely on the metaphysical level, is that in that experiment and the experience of being in the timeline journey, the physical will at some point start to fade. It's part of the requirement of being on the planet. So being somewhat based in your own internal self-support and really do the inner work, first of all, your outer presence, your outer presentation will shine more naturally. There are people I know who really do deep work, and I'm on that path myself. I'm not saying I'm there, but I'm on that path myself, where my self-respect, my self-support, my self-appreciation is strong enough that whatever happens out there doesn't affect me as much. Let me qualify that. I can't say it doesn't affect me, period, because that would be lying. It doesn't affect me as much. So I'm realizing I went all over the map in this piece, but let me get back to the final point, or hopefully the final point. We'll see what happens. These talks, they end on their own. They don't end with me. And again, any comments you put in, I'll respond to later once I get off the broadcast, because this is like a stream of consciousness coming out right now. The title was He Won't Respect You. And the truth works in the inverse about she won't respect you for men as well. It works both ways, as long as we don't respect ourselves. So the way to respect yourself is to simply put it, take care of yourself. If you take care of yourself to the extent where you don't need the other person, then they can respect that. But if you go there into relationships seeking them to make you feel better, because you're not respecting yourself, the level of respect can't really go higher than your own respect for yourself. It's a matter of physics, maybe, I'm not sure. But in the balance of the way things work in relationship, definitely. Self-respect before others' respect. There's an old exercise I learned in a workshop 30 years ago about how we think that when we get the approval from other people, we'll feel better. But the truth is that it's like Chinese food. We'll be hungry 2 hours later. It's self-approval that lasts forever. In one analogy was the idea about having a cup filled with oil. But the oil of self-respect is much thicker and more cohesive and more permanent than the lighter oil of other people's respect. And having those two definite differences, you can feel it energetically. You can be respected by thousands of people. But if you don't have respect for yourself, it'll be gone as soon as you turn your back on them. But if you respect yourself, it doesn't matter if nobody else loves you or supports you, you will care for yourself. So the title about He Won't Respect You is truly about loving yourself and appreciating yourself, because then the other person will respect you to the level you can respect yourself. Again, that whole point is they can't respect you more than you respect yourself. So respect, appreciate, honor yourself. This goes for men and women. And then your partner can meet you at that level. But if you come in low, hoping the other person respects you more, it will not work. Sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble, that's the truth. So, yeah, there it goes. It happens every time. I just feel it just start to fade. This is the end. This is the end of the message, basically. So just recap a couple of points before I sign off. First, thank you, my friend Annette, who triggered this question in one of my previous broadcasts. To admit, because I did talk about in the previous two broadcasts, 39 and 40, about don't be a dick and how not to be a dick, about talking to men, about not being that way, and about women not falling for that. This is the next piece, which is about respecting yourself. Because you can't count on somebody else to respect you, period. He or she, if you don't respect yourself first. So that's really the answer. If you have any questions or thoughts you want to message, reach out and message me, feel free. I'm doing a daily Facebook Live right now. This is number 41 in this series. I am doing a 30-day challenge, but I started around 25, 26. I've looked back when I started it. So now I'm about halfway through my 30-day challenge. Another 15 or so to go. So do watch them again. Feel free to watch the replays. If you feel somebody wants to get value from this, please share this out with other people. If you're just coming in late, please go back and watch the beginning. This will be posted on YouTube as well. And it's a daily broadcast I'm putting out on Facebook Live. It's called Messages from the Masculine. This is number 41. And we'll see what comes up tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And again, if you have any questions or want support, please reach out to me. See you later. Bye.